order them extra. What happened is they started to grow. Oh, they got bigger, you know what I mean, for what they was around. It's a spirit that's actually there. And for anybody that's especially on the biblical aspect, you go to Jubilees chapter 2, it talked about the time of creation, that the angels was there, that there were each angel that was over the spirit of each thing, spirits of the wind, spirits of the earth, spirits of the water, spirits of the plants. Now, I'm not trying to jump on a biblical perspective, but I'm gonna tell you, all of this aligns. It's just it's been too much bull crap that's been put amongst to create a division. You know what I mean? And that's just the overall truth. Ooh, this is a deep one here.
Yeah. This gonna be a real deep one. I did just hit the record button, my brothers. So now it's official. Now we on and popping. First of all, salute to you brothers. Got brother D Motion in the house. Got brother John in the house. Got brother DJ in the house. And shout out to the spirit of brother Theo as well. We'd like to welcome everybody, the viewer, and also because we ain't doing the YouTube live this week because some things on my end. But welcome the viewer, the listener, back to the Metaphysical podcast show. First of all, I gotta get some things out, my brothers. Then we're gonna go ahead and get into this. I got a disclaimer. Ain't nobody on here a medical professional expert. So everything that we say, take the time to, it's kind of cliche, but do your own research. Find out what you need to find out in everything. So I want to definitely get that out there. So don't nobody, the system don't try to take any information.
Yeah. We having a discussion of experience. Yeah, I'm not a licensed professional. I'm here not to diagnose or treat any disease. We're just here to share the experiences of what we had and what we are going through in our life. Especially me and brother GJ, to assist to bring that body back to its natural homeostasis. Hey, that's what we do, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's it right there. Second of all, I told y'all, brothers. I don't know if I told y'all, but I'm gonna continue to tell y'all. I'm gonna remind y'all when these episodes, these shows, titles come to me. I don't sit around and I don't say, this week we're gonna do this, that week we're gonna do that. I always go to spirit first, and I always say, well, spirit, I don't know what the hell we gonna do, So whatever you want us to talk about, you gotta give me some ideas. And this whole thing of plant vibrations, spirit gave it to me, and I started seeing, started having visions of certain things and whatnot. And I said, okay, cool. I was like, so we're gonna go ahead and go in that direction. And then we originally we was supposed to record like last week, but things that happened, but we here now. But with that being said, I don't find this to be a coincidence. Want to say rest in power to the young brother. Rich homie Quan had wound up ascending. This past week, him and Frankie Beverly. And when it comes to the whole thing with Rich homie Quan, I mean the rumors are saying that the brother had overdosed. And when I heard about it, and when I started to think about it, this is something that a lot of people do not know personally about me. I had two family members, one blood cousin and another cousin through marriage that had actually overdosed from fentanyl. Both of my family members, ain't nobody perfect. and I got to be so transparent with everybody that's listening and watching. Just to let y'all know, because I know people do certain things, behind closed doors and whatnot. Some people think they like to take that candy that candy, up their nose and like to pop them pills and whatnot. And y'all really don't understand or know what y'all are even getting. Number one, the game is so watered down right now. Um, they taking us all out. It used to be a thing. When I was coming up, oh man, them pills, them white folks, they do that. We don't do that. But times have changed now, and everything where so many brothers and sisters on both ends are just dropping like flies. You know what I mean from this drug and everything. So this episode means something very very special to me because I really want my brothers and my sisters to understand it's other things that you can take um, to put you on a natural high versus that substance high. Now, also, I do understand and I do recognize that there are a lot of chiefs that are out here. And when I say chiefs, I'm talking about chiefs that you got alcohol chiefs, then you have marijuana chiefs, and then you have tobacco chiefs. And like I said, you don't believe me, you go back, do your own research. I know in my bloodline, on my daddy's side, we are full blooded Choctaw Indian. And then on my mama's side is Chickasaw. So when y'all see me smoking my tobacco, my lineage is coming out and coming through. Uh, so whatever floats your boat and whatever works it is what it is. Another, this is a big shout out to this man named Greg. And what I'm gonna do when we get kind of close towards the end, I'm gonna tell a little bit of information. I wound up getting a comment on one of the videos that I had wound up promoting this past week. This man Greg, this brother Greg, he has produced and made. It is called a plant vibration trainer device. I'm gonna get a little bit more in detail with that, but when I seen the video and he broke everything down and he showed everything, I said that right there is a game changer, huge game changer. So, but besides us just talking about plant vibrations and whatnot, hell, the spirit then said, "Here go the solution." You know what I'm saying? So, with that being said, man, we're gonna go ahead and get this thing going with plant vibrations. I don't know who want to take the lead on this one, but hey, hey, this an open panel right now, my brother. So it's all good over here.
Okay. I can tell you this. I got a few things just in general, myself, that what I do and what I came up on, and not to mention you pick up little things that's truth when it comes to movie watching. But movie watching, because I got a few movies, one in particular, that I would love to bring up, called The Happening. If you remember that, with Mark Wahlberg, that's when the plants was they just got mad with human beings. But anyway, that's a wrong example. Plants in general, They communicate. It's a lady. I remember I saw this years ago. Her name is Dina Veres, and I forgot what country she's based in, but she gave thanks to nature. She gave thanks to all the plants. And even when it came down to watering, pruning, or keeping them in a certain environment, because all those things raises a plant's vibration. All that soil, the water, makes a huge difference. It really does. You can get a little bit further if, on a metaphysical, esoteric aspect. There's some people, and it surprised me when I first found this out. They would also they would create grids around their garden of quartz crystals. You know what I mean? Or near those particular areas, because to help raise the vibration. Because you remember, you can program these things, and everything's by intention. I do that anyway. You water that, you're beautiful. I give thanks to everything to what you're doing. You're gonna heal a lot of people. You're gonna do some amazing things. I'm grateful. You do that on a continual basis. Some people, like, you might find certain herbs that you might buy. I know this definitely from cacao. There are some cacao nibs or cocoa nibs called ceremonial cacao. The first time I was like, what is that? That's people, or particular people, they keep their cacao is growing in a certain space, and they pray. They pray every day over it. They pray with it. You know what I mean? They do anything to fuel that and give that energy to it. So Dina Veres, and I hope I'm not slaughtering her name. I remember, and I got a clip too. She says, when she feels like a plant is going to die, we go ahead and build a hammock and put the plant in the hammock, and we push it, and we always sing to it. And I know she speaks Espanol, but she's singing to the plant, right? And it starts to nurture it and bring it back to life. I'm like, what? You know what I mean? So because plants communicate, they vibrate in so many different aspects, so when you're saying devices and communicating with them, they do that naturally with us. And so it's beautiful in general. Not to mention what they give us, the sun and the carbon dioxide. And so it's a beautiful relationship between that. But what I wanted to say is, I don't want to take it away from Brother GJ, because I believe he in the office right now. You know what I mean? So that's his headquarters out there. GJ, where you at, brother?
Well, unfortunately, I'm not outside right now, but I'll go outside. I'm just waiting on a certain situation to be finished up. We got a visitor, but once that's done, I'll definitely be going outside. But something that really resonated with me, with in regards to the whole programming, with the garden, when we look at what the answer is, and y'all may have seen, I was at the museum not too long ago. Every single culture planted their garden with sacred geometry, and that's something that I'm utilizing for sure. And they would, of course, use crystals. A lot of people think about crystals, but they don't realize that, like, the crystals are from the soil. So the plants are not only utilizing, like, the microbial network and the mycelium network and the fungi and all these different aspects, but they're also using these crystals to communicate. And I feel like in the same way that we can program a crystal, or we can use a crystal, for example, in these devices to communicate with each other, I feel like that's why the crystals are also in the soil, because this is a really interesting study that they did, where they found out that they put a plant in a room and they would have a random number generator. And this just popped up in my head, but this basically what would happen is the random number generator would generate a number, and they would add that number up, and if it would come to a multiple of 1, 2, 3, or 4, they would put the light into a particular corner of the room. Now, this plant was sitting in one corner of the room and it didn't move. And basically what this test was trying to show was, will the plant be able to manipulate the random number generator just by desiring light. And, you know, if you do a random test, it should be around 25%. If you got four corners of a room and it's random numbers, it should be roughly 25, 25, 25, 25. Y'all know what I mean, right?
Right.
Yeah. So what was really amazing is that the plant was actually getting over 35% of the light, which is, it doesn't mathematically make sense that the random number generator would do that in the exact corner that the plant was in. So this had the scientists questioning, are the plants any different than us, in that, you know, it's been shown that our thoughts and our consciousness actually shifts the reality. So what this was basically showing and is proving, and what scientists are finding out now, which is what the shamans and the monks and the Buddhists and the priests have known forever, is that the plants have consciousness, and they can actually, you know, make decisions on the fly, and really just, it's showing that they're tapped into that quantum field, or the ether, or whatever you want to call it. So now we understand how the shaman can talk to the plant and understand what's gonna break up kidney stones, and understand which one is gonna spike their DMT and have them talking to their ancestors. And this is why also they talk about Mother Ayahuasca, or, you know, Father Saint Pedro. Like, there's a reason why they have their own personalities. It's because they actually do, you know. And I've experienced this myself, where it's like, when my plants come around, when I go around my plants, they actually look happier. And that's something else that science proved too. It's like, when the person who waters the plant comes within 2 kilometers, which is a pretty long way, the plant actually begins to like get ready to receive, you know, receive that water. Or for example, when the sun rises and the birds start to chirp, the leaves of the plant actually begin to perk up, because, you know, they understand that they're about to get ready to receive that sunlight. So that's all just going to show that they all have a unique vibration, and they're actually all communicating with each other at all times. And this is even with a plant that was grown in a pot. So when we talk about plants that are grown in the earth, in the same way that we have to ground, man, a plant that's in the soil is literally connected to the entire earth. So there's a vast network of intelligence that's just going on just from that plant being in the ground. So, you know, we really haven't even scratched the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the science of plants, and how not only beneficial they are to our healing, you know, the herbs is for the healing of the nations, but how they're going to be able to advance our consciousness, and how we can implement what they do to be so advanced. Because no matter how advanced human technology is, we still haven't been able to cut down every forest. It's not possible, because they're too, the science of nature and the mycelium network, it's too advanced for the human being and the current technology to understand. So I feel like the best way that we can grow is implement nature's technology. So yeah, I kind of went on a little tangent there, but you know, it's just to drop that.
Are you good?
Nah, because I was gonna add that on there. I was gonna end up saying, yeah, brother GJ talking. Y'all can research the mycelium network afterwards, and you can see the whole system, or so to speak, like we have the nervous system. Look at that when it comes to the plants. My apologies. Go ahead and continue, brother.
No, I was just gonna say that I was just bringing that up to show that these plants actually do have a consciousness, and that they can make decisions. They can you know, they have feelings. You know, I've seen my plant sad before, and you know, I've been sitting with my plants. I've sing to them. I dance with them. Like, I do everything with them. And just from being with them, you'll see in a short period of time they actually do perk up and become happier. You know, it has nothing to do with just water. You know, and we learn a lot from the plants, because it's not just about the physical taking care of them, but you know, like how you said before, the ceremonial cacao comes with praying to the plants. And you know, with for example, the ayahuasca that I brought up, that is never even served unless it's done by somebody who knows how to pay respect to the mother, you know. So that's just all laying that foundation that, you know, for anyone who's watching, and if you didn't know, these are conscious, living, breathing entities. They're not just, you know, they have neurons inside of their cells, just like how we do. But let's not just look at that from like a base level and think, oh yeah, they have these things so that they can perform normal cellular functions. No, they actually think and they feel, and they're the same as us. You know, they're just, I feel like a lower level in terms of their personal growth, but they're really just an aspect of Earth, is how I feel about it. Like they're no different than the Earth. So they're just here to teach us lessons and to give us abundance and to give us healing, you know?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I say. Yeah, I wanted to add something too for people, the listeners that are listening. You can do this. I don't know if we can put this in a clip that's in between the show, but I want y'all to go to YouTube for all the listeners. Type in proof that plants have consciousness, 1979. Proof that plants have consciousness, 1979. It's like a 3-minute, 4-minute video. And what it simply is Russian scientists are showing that they do. They got a bunch of cabbage plants, natural cabbage plants. They hooked up these wires and everything else. Forgive me for, me not knowing what the technology is, the equipment is, but they would blow smoke on it. Then you can start seeing the meters, they start spiking. It's because they didn't like it.
Oh, so it's like the equivalent of like an EKG.
Yeah, that's it. All right, so check it out. They had one, and I put it for y'all too. Y'all can check that out as well. They had two cabbage plants, one here, one there. They took one over here and started breaking it apart. I'm like, dang. They started breaking it up. But on this side, it was looking at it. It was feeling everything that was going on. You could see that it was spiking. It was spiking what was going on with it. They tore this other plant up. And it's on that video. But this is what happened. So check it out. They sent all the other people that was assisting with that demonstration. There was like 4 women that was in there. They started bringing those women in one by one. And then when they got to the last one, the plant identified the one that tore up that other cabbage plant. Mm-hmm. And that lets you know they can see. So henceforth, going back to the movie The Happening, that's what that was. It was the violation that was against plants. And so what they did, of course, it was an M. Night Shyamalan movie. And you already know M. Night be hey, M. Night be coming with some stuff. Hey, M. Night he be on it. You know what I'm saying? So like hit or miss at time, but he be on it. So they just started revoking, and they started releasing poisonous gases. That people were committing suicide. And I thought that was very interesting, is because I remember reading this when I first was starting the path on herbalism, that there are chemicals released by plants, grass and stuff all the time, that how they communicate. I forgot where I was reading this. It was in a book. But when you cut grass, you always notice how you smell freshly cut grass, like you can smell that. All right. When that's released, that's also letting other plants, other forms of grass, moss, or anywhere else, weeds, that, hey, we getting cut over here. We getting slaughtered over here. You know what I mean? And I'm like, dang. Because it's a whole network. You know what I mean? It's a whole network. You notice, just like they say, if one bee is killed, every other bee, worker bee, and everyone else, they know that. You know what I mean? And it's a lot more advanced than what we think, and a lot more we know. And so that's why paying homage and homage, it's a big thing, because a lot of stuff we don't realize what we do when we possibly even step on certain particular places. We don't know what we're killing. We have not a clue. We have not a clue. So that's why it's like, I'm grateful. Because I remember one person that said that, I think he was a shaman. He was like, you feel like you ain't took a life, but you don't know how many lives you done taken. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's super powerful. That's really a fact. What you just said. That
Right.
like, and one of the things, and going back to the mycelium network, that's really interesting is that, for example, why it's so that experiment was done with the plants actually in pots. So this is to show that they actually have communication beyond just their roots in the mycelium network. But when they're connected to the mycelium, they're even more connected on a deeper level, and they can actually help each other out. So the cabbage plant couldn't really do anything to help the other plant, but he was tripping. He's like, yo, you killed my boy. But when they're actually in the soil, and this is very interesting, the plants can actually send each other sugars and exudates to heal each other. So if a plant is getting, let's say there's a wildfire and a certain portion of the forest gets destroyed, it's actually been shown that trees from miles and miles and miles away will team up together and actually send sugars and nutrients and different types of beneficial fungi to go assist those plants that was just slaughtered and killed. So it's the same thing with the grass, because nature doesn't go based on size. Everything is just as important regardless of how big or how small it is. But that's why also every culture, they respected a mother tree, because the mother tree had the responsibility of not only shading the smaller plants, because not every plant can get full sun, but what happens is when the plant actually drops its leaves, that's the best fertilizer for the forest. This is why you never see anyone fertilizing the forest, because the leaves are the best fertilizer, and the tallest tree has the deepest roots, meaning able to tap into the most dynamic amount of nutrients and minerals, and then drop those minerals to everything below. So the reason why I say that nature and plants are teachers is because, in the same way that, all the top spiritual masters will tell you, the number one illusion is that we are disconnected. This is what nature shows us, in that you look at all these different trees and you think that they're separate, but every tree understands that they're together, and that they are only as successful as their weakest link, as the weakest twig and the weakest blade of grass is exactly how strong they are, because they're all connected. So I feel like that's one of the most potent and powerful lessons that we can learn from nature. And even like how you said, you don't know what you can. You, in one handful of fertile soil, you got more living individuals than you have on the entire planet in terms of humans. The microbial kingdom is something that we don't even fully understand. But it doesn't, just because we can't see them doesn't mean that they're not there, and that they don't have feelings, and that they don't feel things in the same way that we do. They just on a smaller scale. And if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be eating anything. So, it gets real deep.
It does. Man, I'm sorry. We taking away the floor.
Listen. If y'all need to subscribe to the channel. Everything. These brothers is over here cooking right now. I mean, cooking. They gym after gym after gym after gym. Hey, I got some questions, but Spirit, like, let them keep going. You know what I mean? So, hey, subscribe to the channel. Comment, like, share. Do man, y'all cooking right now. I mean, like for real. So much knowledge and so much information is being shared right now, and man, I'm truly grateful, for you brothers being a part of my life right now, like from the bottom of my heart.
Sir, yes, sir. It's
And you feel me? I ain't even trying to disrupt the energy either. You feel me? Because y'all bouncing off each other. But I do want to add, I just want to add that thinking about what Brother DJ is saying, like, we're plants too in that regard. Because the mere fact that, like he was saying, we're only as strong as our weakest link, that's how it is for humans as well. And we're all connected the same way plants are. We just don't recognize it all the time. You feel me? But I just wanted to add that real quick. Y'all keep bouncing off each other.
Yeah. And I'm with you, bro. Yeah, because we're part carbon too. You know what I mean? Because a lot of the same stuff that's comprised of the minerals is in the soil we have as well. You know what I mean? So you're 100% right. Just going back to the mother tree, and it made me think about, there was a film my mother showed me a little while ago when she was talking about when it comes to people uniting together. And
You going with this?
yeah, but it's a few directions, because I mean there's so much stuff that you just brought back up. I used to talk with somebody from Cape Verde, Santiago, the island of Santiago in Cape Verde. Shouts out to Cape Verde. And one thing that she knew about the plants that had consciousness, because she learned it from the culture, she told me certain things in certain cultures that they wouldn't eat plants or freshly grown vegetables until they start getting ready to wither and pass away, because they didn't do it in Cape Verde. She can tell me that, but but they would wait to particular the plants and everything else start to wither away before they ate them. You know what I mean? Because some of them can feel pain and everything else. And I'm like, man, yeah, I can totally understand it. But it was this film my mother had told me about. It was called Men of the Forest. Because that's one thing that I saw, how certain cultures, they came together, they built together, they slept together, they grew things together. And it was Men in the Forest. It was, and you can type that in on YouTube. It's about a logging family that's in Georgia. It's 1952 when it came out. Very, very good. But the sons of the father would teach them a lot of things when it came down to the land. You know, when it came down to cutting trees and all. You know, one of the sons, he was just so ready to go ahead and chop everything down. He taught them small instances here and there, because it was about hard work, that to respect everything. Well, let me cut down this big one here, Dad. It's big. He was like, no, that's a mother tree. Then he picked up. I ain't got a pine cone, so I'm gonna hold up this coconut and say this is a pine cone. You know what I mean? He was like, you see this? This is a seed. This right here, when it grows, it drops off more so other plants can grow. Well, other trees can grow. So leave it alone. That made me it made me respect nature to a lot more when it came to that degree. And it's way more than what we can comprehend. It is. I had got a few notes together before I had came here of what they do when it comes to vibration, which is electrical signals, bioenergies, which was spoken on, Brother GJ has spoken on, from the touch to environmental changes to electrical impulses, of even animals as well, and humans. These signals helps the plants to adapt to their surroundings. Mechanical vibrations, that works at a cellular level. They communicate with other plants. Sound perception and production, how they can respond to other sound frequencies and vibrations, like music. I play music to my plants. Some people think that's crazy, but I do. I play it at a certain, because they enjoy that. Influence on human energy fields, which I had spoken on, and the role of plant healing and growth, vibrational frequencies in plants that can affect human and healing properties that influence also the potency and effectiveness in herbal medicine. And there's also some other aspects of scientific exploration that comes along with it. Plants is powerful, brother. That's what I had pulled up in my pad that was there. But it's more than what we can even comprehend. And y'all ever notice that some people will play classical music to their plants?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And all of it, we have to treat it as us, because they are us. We are it. We say that we are in a form of slavery, which in a lot of cases, yeah, we know, yeah. But at the same time, the animal kingdom too, the plant kingdom too. You know what I mean? Because a lot of beings have been taken advantage of on a deeper, say, you know what I mean? So I don't want nobody to go stir crazy that's listening and everything. Everything is still operated off of love, but it's just to give a little bit of insight and awareness.
Well, let me play the devil's advocate real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now I'm listening to everything that you brothers are saying, and I'm understanding that everything has a conscience. Plants, herbs, fruit, vegetables, animals, everything. And this animals as well. So I get hungry, and I'm ready to get me, some kind of food. Now, am I wrong for eating an apple that I just picked off a tree, or eating a pear that I just picked off, or say I'm a meat person. Hell, I want a chicken, chicken sandwich or whatever. How does all of that go into effect also? It's a certain thing that we need to do, because I know all of us kind of grew up um, in a religious setting in the past, and a lot of us was taught we need to pray over our food before we eat it. Need to pray over our food before we eat it. Does praying over our food before we eat it, after we done killed it, does it help? Does it do any good? Does it do any justice, or what?
So what I say to that is, we have a certain perception, I feel like, on what the human what we call body, like the technology, is capable of. But I'm of the belief that at some point humans didn't even need to eat anything. So this is all going into like the fall of man. So as man fell, of course he was blinded by ignorance. And because of this ignorance, he at some point came to the point where he ate food and lost his sense of connection to the food. So yeah, I definitely feel like if you are eating, and we all eat nowadays, because we're not living in that higher self, that higher, when I say higher self, I mean like the higher version, when we talk about a true golden age, or even when we look at, like, for example, like some of the yogis, where they just would stop eating. And I forget what that's called, but they have a certain name for it, where when you reach a certain stage of spiritual growth, your body just is sustaining.
Enlightenment.
Yeah, but it's just like it's like a certain name. I don't remember what it's
You
called.
talking about a breatharian, brother?
Nah. There's a particular name for it. But that's not really relevant right now. The whole point I'm trying to make is that once you reach that level, the food is actually just within the atmosphere. So I don't want people to trip about it, about eating an apple or about eating a pear, because regardless of if you're physically chewing and eating something or not, you're still playing that role as, some people say generator, operator, destroyer, like a god, generator, operator, destroyer. And that anytime that you exist, you need to destroy things in order to exist. Even when you breathe, there's so many beings with it. We're not just breathing in oxygen, we're breathing in so many different things, and it's living. And when you breathe it in, everything is getting recycled and transformed, and everything is always changing and moving and dying and being birthed again. So I feel like, yes, praying over the food does have a lot of significance, but at the same time, it's more of just realizing that, like, the eating and the taking of the life is necessary, but it just needs to be done in a place of balance, depending on the place of growth where we are. So when you do pray over your food and you do eat, that doesn't mean that you got to eat 100% capacity. One of the sayings that they have in Japan, it's in Okinawa, which they have the longest life expectancies in the world. And before they eat their meals, they say something that's known as hara hachi bu. And that basically means that we're not going to eat till 80% capacity. Not to be greedy, because not only is it harmful to the body, but it's not good to take more than you actually need. So yeah, gratitude and all those things I feel like is definitely necessary in where we are now.
You said Harahachi Boo. I'm writing that down, brother. How you
Yeah,
spell it?
because that's something that I say like right before I eat. Hara Hachibu. So it's Hara and then HACIBU. So it's 3 words. Hara Hachibu. And you know, that's the country where, you know, they wake up, they do their qigong, they eat super healthy, everything is straight from the farm. That's a farming country. Okinawa. So I just bring that up as an example, and where it's like we can follow some of those principles that they have so that we can live a higher quality of life with more vitality and more energy. But I really feel like this whole conversation is only even a conversation because man has fallen. Like we have come to a point of ignorance where like we haven't remembered. Even when you talk about the Adam and Eve story, like I feel like the actual eating of the apple and that whole story has so many different meanings to it. And like the literal eating of food, I feel like that could have like resulted in the falling of man. Not that food is bad. I don't want people thinking that but I'm saying like if y'all can really channel your mind to like something that's so inconceivable to the way we live now, to where beings was just existing and being present, and people didn't even have the desire to eat, you know. And when you fast, you know, I'm sure anyone who's done a long fast will know, when you get to a certain point, you're like, dang, do I really even need to eat? Like, you know,
Yeah,
like,
most definitely.
like why do I eat 2 or 3 times a day? Like, and it's usually rooted in some other type of illusion that we think we need to eat, you know. So yeah, I could go on and on about that, but yeah, that's my answer.
Nah, I'm with you,
Okay.
brother. Oh, my bad. Go ahead, brother.
Hey, you know, cause I know that like you said, the people that's listening and watching, you know, they you know they might not know, you know, and that's why I was telling you, brothers. You know, it's very very important that you know we give this information to them, and we're not trying to scare you straight. You know that's the biggest. Not trying to scare you straight, but also we want to inform you and let you know. I know I heard you say something, brother Jonathan, about the breatharians. Um, I know I have seen that video with the brother. I think he might be somewhere down in South America, something like that. But he's the breatharian, and he don't eat nothing. And the spirit had reminded me something because we you know we're talking about food and plant vibrations and whatnot. Y'all do realize that certain, well, I ain't gonna say certain, but all cities, they don't even eat food. They eat energy.
Mm-hmm.
So for example, uh, let's say a not so pleasant energy or a not so pleasant spirit that thrives off of people depression. That's what they eat. That is their food. That entity, that spirit, it comes around, and when that person's in that state of mind of depression, it is eating and it's feeding, and that's how that works. And you know, going back to that the fall of man, do we have any suggestions that we can give the people how we can start to somewhat reverse? Because I know everybody ain't gonna be on board. You know what I mean? But I also realize everybody ain't meant to survive. So and it's I really hate to say that, but you know that it is what it is.
Exactly. My bad. Go ahead, GJ.
Oh no, you could go ahead. I mean, I got, if you don't got nothing, I could go, but
I do, because I'm gonna be perfectly honest. Just to simplify, but a lot of this has come from, especially when it comes to all forms of religion, and it's nothing against anything. All of it is love, but that's where the division aspect has come, and it is hitting so many different aspects that people get caught on the distractions and we never get to the source in the first place. We never do. Even with the whole plan aspect, because some people are like, well, I'm never with that in the first place. Then if I could break down on the aspect where, yes, they do, some do die and we eat, but as well, that cycle of life continues, because what happens when we end up transitioning and our body decays, we're ate and we go right back to the earth in the first place. Well, I'm in, and there's going to be there's going to be a whole nother debacle about that. Well, no, I'm going to be in a coffin. Look, it doesn't matter, because you're going to get in there and you still going to get ate. And guess what it's going to do? You're going to continue that cycle of life. You know what I mean? Well, I'm cremated. Okay, well, that's good. You're going to send more, but those ashes, you still, you see where I'm going with this? So it's a continual basis. That's why we have to sit and reason with one another. You know what I mean? That could be can be very tedious in itself. Is because that is what has been purposely planned here, so people can get caught on the distractions instead of us unifying and growing in love in the first place. You know what I mean? That is one of the biggest things. So anytime I always get a subset, you ever notice when you try to have a really good talk, you shouldn't be doing this, brother. No, this, well, such down here, do it, and such. You know what I mean? Then you might break that down and bring it back, and then there's another sub subject, which is a distraction to get away from what we're actually talking about. So a lot of things have to be unpacked. A lot of things will have to be unpacked, and a lot of different aspects of love. And I know that because that's something continually that I have done, not just on plants, but just all different aspects of religion, cultural, oh my goodness, music industry, business. It's always something that's going to get away from the actual point of what we're talking about. And I know that's not answering the question, you know what I mean? But I'm going to be perfectly honest. I always was still to put it in that direction of where we're going. And I always fill out the energy of where I'm going in the conversation, you know what I mean? Of the evolution and the aspects of accountability on these things and standing on that, you know what I mean? And I know it can go into other subsets. What about moral integrity? It can get very tedious, but that's the point of what we're doing to stand on business. Because why? For every last one of y'all right now that's tuning in to this podcast, y'all making a conscious decision to listen. If you're listening here that long and then on this episode, y'all making a conscious decision to listen and to absorb. And at the same time, put it into implementation. And that's what it's all about. I applaud all y'all for being there. Man, I'm looking like a weirdo. I thank y'all for being there. I'm being genuine with it too. You know what I'm saying? But sorry.
No, man. Yeah, absolutely right. Because before you had chimed in on the Zoom, we was talking about like some quote unquote some religious things and whatnot. And I know one thing that kind of like really stuck out was we had this. Well, I said something. Fuck it, I'm just gonna put it out there. It's a lot of spiritual quote unquote teachers that's out here that is giving our brothers and our sisters a lot of information that they think and that they believe that is good. So kudos to you. But also I'm kind of old school, and I'm kind of one of them people. I like to practice what I preach, as the legend Barry White said in one of his songs. I like to don't give me some information and you're not doing it yourself. Because I'm one of them people. If you give me some information and it resonates with me, I'm gonna do it myself because I want to see, is it gonna work. So that's just like, and brother DJ. But before we get out, hey, I'm gonna need you to tell the people again. What you say again. Before you consume the food and everything. Because I'm gonna try that myself to see what kind of vibration it's gonna start to do for my avatar and everything. Once I start to take it in and stuff like that. But everything that we sit up here telling y'all, implement it and do it. Just do it. You don't gotta do it all, but start out with one step. The first step is you paying, tuned in, listening and watching. So that's step number one. So now step number two is actually implementing and actually doing. You know.
Yeah, I want to. Something just came up in my mind, and I feel like this is really necessary because even a lot of people who are in this space still have religious programming, and I feel like one of the programs that's running very strong is fear of ritual and fear of because even the term ritual has a certain negative connotation or stigma to it. But I give this example. A lot of people will, for example, look at a voodoo ritual and they'll see, they kill the chicken, they use the blood of the chicken, they eat the chicken, they give thanks for the chicken. But people will look at that and out of ignorance, they'll say that it's satanic, right? They'll say that it's Luciferian. Now, this is kind of getting back to what we talked about before you started recording and like who is God and who is the devil, and it's almost as if the roles have been reversed where, by performing that ritual and giving thanks for the food and actually utilizing every aspect of the chicken, you're actually bringing more light, or you're being quote unquote, you're embodying quote unquote Lucifer, which some people associate with the devil. But it's almost as if the church associated bringing light with being demonic and staying in the dark as being, or staying in fear as being, godly, quote unquote. So I really think that programming needs to come off where people think that ritualism is bad, even on a subconscious level, because people be scared. You light the candles and it's dark, and
yeah, they do.
people get a little.
They do, bro. Go ahead, man, because I gotta add to that too, man. Go ahead.
So when you do eat your food, one of the things that I personally do before I eat, and right now I'm doing a fast where I don't eat the whole day and I eat when the sun sets. And I say something real simple. I say love, happiness, peace, bliss, fulfillment. That's what I say over my food. Because the food, especially I break the fast with some type of fruit, and the fruit is structured water. So that structured water is able to hold my vibration, which is the words. And then, just from me consciously holding it in my hand, and then even while I'm chewing it, I make sure that I chew it thoroughly. I break down as much of it as I can, because the mouth actually has a lot of digestive enzymes. A lot of digestion actually starts in your hands and in your mouth. People don't realize that we have digestive enzymes actually in our hands. So it gets real deep. And this is why that's a whole other conversation. But that's it though. Just that whole intention around the ritual of eating the food. Everything that we do should be a ritual. Our breathing should be a ritual. Or eating should be a ritual. Sleeping should be a ritual. Or if you want to use a different word, say a routine, if that makes you feel better, But that fear of ritual, I think, just go away.
You right.
Yeah, absolutely right, man. Because this a funny story, and I'm gonna let you have it after I get this out, brother Emotion. Probably about 5 to 6 years ago, I think it might have been about 5 6 years ago. My one of my female cousins, she had asked me to partake in a lecture. She actually had me come out and do do this little speaking thing, and we was giving the people some information and whatnot, and shout out to IT Kill. Uh, this shit is so funny. My aunt was in the room, and I brought up the word ritual, and she's a true Bible thumper. True Bible thumper. She said, "Oh hell no! What the hell, nephew? What the hell you got me ritual? You motherfuckers on this voodoo, hoodoo, devil shit." And everybody busted out and started laughing. And I said, Auntie, I said, calm down, calm down. I was like, listen. And I started channeling. And the spirit said, when you wake up every day, that's a ritual. I said, don't you smoke a cigarette when you go take a shit in the morning? She said, every day. I said, that's a ritual. I said, don't you eat food before you go to work? She said, yeah. I said, that's a ritual. Don't you got a job that you gotta go to work to every day? She said, yeah. I said, that's a ritual. Everything that you do is a ritual. If you want to admit to it or not, it's a ritual. Hell, you certain TV programs that watch every day. That's a ritual. Certain music programs that you listen to every day. That's a ritual. Certain food that you choose to eat every day. That's a ritual. Everything that we do is a ritual. Y'all might not realize that. Y'all might not want to take that in, but it is what it is, and it ain't no reason to be afraid of accepting what the truth is. I understand that a lot of people are a whole lot more comfortable with living the lie that they have built for themselves. So it is what it is. Matter of fact, by you believing the lie that you living in, that's a ritual. I'm just,
It is. I wanted to say one more thing too, not cutting everybody, and thank you for putting that out there, brother. For the listeners, this is not an overnight walk. When it comes back to getting this, because there's so many different aspects. Like even when I was speaking before, somebody might have been looking for a direct answer, and the thing is, there's no direct answer. It's because you have to really break down and say why this is and why this is, and focus on the main source. I know some people might hear the whole aspect of crystals. I'm using that one because I remember that when I was bringing it up, that's all I was thinking about, because that's what I thought about when I was in the church, and as well as Brother GJ. They were used biblically because they was used worldwide. If you're wanting to know, forgive me, check out Exodus 28 about the ephod that Aaron had, the chest plate, the breastplate. And don't say each stone means each tribe of Israel. Yeah, very much. But it was what they comprised of and what they did as well, especially the amethyst. Really, all of them had their own thing. The reason why I'm saying this is because it's going to take time for this walk in general, every single aspect of it, to find out what is what. And that's why you have to walk in truth. You have to walk in love. That's why you still pray. I can say this naturally, that let's just look at it on a simple note, because I talk with a lot of people from all different cultures. And to be honest, I have learned something from a little bit of everybody. It don't necessarily mean that I fully resonate and say I'm going to do something on this side, but I get the way it is. Let's just say I got a math problem. 6,487,000 times a million. I'm just going to throw something crazy. And let's say I did it all by hand. All right. I got it wrong. GJ got it wrong. Brother Jonathan got it wrong. But let's just say Knife got it right. Knife don't need to say, brother, see, y'all got it wrong. Y'all got the game messed up, man. Y'all math is off. So it's over here. This is how it is. You know what I'm saying? No, let's just say control, religion. Instead, I would say this, just in my experience, Brother Knife should say, let me see what you guys have done, how you came to that. You know what I mean? Because he could learn something from that too, on how we did these different things to come up with our answer. Mm-hmm. He's not jumping us or judging us or anything. Then he'll share with us what he did. You know what I mean? What he did and how he came to that. You know what I mean? And especially when you bring it up math, there's tons of different ways to do math. Y'all ever seen Kemet math or Egyptian math or Japan, how they do things and carry problems? No, totally different to come with a particular answer. But that would be a way to communicate. And I have done that with everybody that I have came across. You know what I mean? From Arab brothers to people from Nigeria, from people from India. And to be honest, it's been nothing but love. And I have been gifted and I have been shared with some of the most greatest experience, information, knowledge, and love. Love. That's what trumps it all. But it's a process, y'all. It is. It is it's a process that you got to walk in. It's not nothing that's gonna come overnight. So I don't want nobody to start pulling out just a particular thing and standing on, because I know that's how a lot of things work, especially with the plant things. Because I know some people that's like that. You know, I'm from Tennessee. Brother Knife know how that is. Nobody trying to hear none of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I mean, because it's I want y'all to really think about these things, not just what we're saying, but just look at life or things in general. We know about hornets, we know about wasps. I know, brother GJ, I'm brother Jonathan, probably pretty much too. You know what I'm saying? I don't know exactly where y'all. I don't know how things move around there with insects, but I know they do. But just say like when we see some, and you know this is very well at night, you walk in the house or you're getting ready to, they always where your porch light is, if it's by the door, there's always a big wasp nest. Wasp nest,
Yeah.
hornet nest, or whatever. So first thing you're ready to do, you know, man, get them gone. So we figure that's a good thing. Because why? We stopping ourselves from getting stung or our children. So who's that good for? Is that good for us or is that good for them? That we just keep.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, and see, this can go into a whole nother sub-subject after sub-subject after sub-subject. And you know, and there's some things might not be even answered. But don't let that get you away from a way of operating in your true purpose and love and understanding. Because right now, there's some things that people might not resonate with us, all of us. But it's the whole point of us coming together. Let us hear one another. Let's reason one another and get an understanding before we actually reply. Because that's what makes all of us brothers. We ain't just doing a podcast here. And Brother Theo, he were here right now, I know he'll be jumping in there in the heartbeat. You know what I mean? But that's what makes all of us brothers, because we can come here and unify within love. We can come here and unify with understanding, reason, purpose. You know what I mean? Because while we're all in alignment. And it's not just for us, it's for the generations to come, everybody.
Yep. And ask plenty questions. It's not nothing wrong with asking questions, because if you don't know, you just don't know. You know what I'm saying? So ask questions. One personal experience. Getting back on plant vibrations. Something that I do when I go to the gym, when I can go to the gym. I'm very big on essential oils. Matter of fact, uh, here.
Nah, I feel like you finna pull out a whole cargo container filled with them. You had to go out back.
No, but and if my tongue on there it is right there. If I y'all just that drink Crown Royal, you know, I keep the bags for stuff like this. But
That bag recognized. I recognized as soon as you came around the corner with it.
like I said, I'm very big on essential oils. I got edible essential oils at that. Did a little research and found out that taking essential oils can put you in a high vibrational state. Um, One video that I did run across, and I'm gonna get to these real quick. One video that I did come across, the man was talking about. He said some scientists had did a study. Do y'all remember who Gandhi was?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so some scientists had did a study on Gandhi, and they found out that the vibration that he was sending out, they said it was like 900 something, hertz. They said they said his vibration was like off the Richter scale, and edible essential oils, it's not as high as that, but it can it's like more of like a 50, 60 range. But I got lemon extract oil. What else we got in here? This right here, that I definitely take this every day. I do cayenne pepper extract oil. I do like four drops of that every day in my water bottle. Um, but the only reason why I'm very big on cayenne pepper extract oil, heart attacks runs real big in my family. So did some research and found out this right here, it can help prevent heart attacks and whatnot. I got eucalyptus, got peppermint, got lavender, got frankincense. I got like a whole medicine cabinet of essential oils. But when I go to the gym, I always do 2 or 3 drops eucalyptus, and I do about 2 or 3 drops of peppermint oil. And I shake the bottle up real good. And man, when I start sipping on it, I hit a zone. I mean, like literally. Well, I listen to a certain meditation music while I work out also, but I put myself in a zone and in a trance. So if I know that I'm gonna be doing heavy weights on this day with that eucalyptus, I knock it down a little bit more because I know that eucalyptus is actually going to numb my body up the way that I need to be numbed up, so I can go ahead and push and get everything out, what I need to get out. But that's something, and that's like I said, we were saying earlier, it's gonna take steps, to all of this. So that's just one. I know for me personally, that's one step that I wind up taking, was essential oils. I've always been a big vegetable fruit eater since I was a little boy, so ain't nothing changed when it came to eating like that. But I've been getting like real more heavy into essential oils and edible essential oils, because they do have the regular essential oils that you could put like in a humidifier that you can put out, in your atmosphere and breathe in as well and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir. Now I'm with you wholeheartedly. When you mentioned that cayenne essential, I ain't did no essential oils of it, but I just take a little pinch of it, and I used to drink that in the morning. Ooh, you don't have nothing on your stomach, boy. Ooh, burn the fire out of you. I can tell you that. But you are right. It helps with just saying that you used it for, and also sugar regulation. And
Oh,
but
the digestive system also.
it's all most definitely. So my mind was running rampant on a few things. But
Yeah. Now go ahead.
no, that was it, brother. That was it.
Nah. I was just gonna say, I feel like what you're saying is powerful, just because this goes to show, getting back into the ritual, like why how cooking and all those things are really rituals. And like when you include, for example, an essential oil, every plant and even different parts of the plant represent certain elements. So like I remember reading this in a book a while ago, where obviously like the roots would represent the earth element, the stem would represent the water element, because that's how the actual water is actually moving throughout the plant. It gets sucked in through the roots, or it gets dropped onto the leaves, and then it distributes the water all throughout the plant into the fruit, with the leaves representing the air, and then the fruit actually representing the fire element. So when you talk about using the cayenne pepper, which is a fruit, it's like, and that's a fruit that's obviously it resonates with fire. You got like the cayenne and the ginger, that's going to stimulate the digestion, because we need to also remember that, you know, all the different organs, they work with certain fruits and vegetables, and that's why some of our organs look like fruits and vegetables, or rather the fruits and vegetables look like our organs, you know. So it all goes back to the point where it's like everything is a program, and it's also why everything bears fruit at a particular time in the year. You know, like the fall season, you get things that are good for fall issues. You know, when the summer comes around, you get the watermelon, the most hydrating thing, and the cucumber, you know, and the cantaloupes, and you know, all the melons, they come in those times. And then it's so amazing how in the fall and in the winter you get the squashes and the pumpkins, which will last you literally a whole year. So it goes to show you that the program that we live in, uh it was designed perfectly for the body to succeed, no matter in what state of evolution we are. Because right now I believe that we in the stone ages, but it's still, you know, we're still given everything that we need to you know, live a fulfilling and beautiful life. And you know, I wanted to add one other thing about ritual, where it's like, you know, you have your essential oils, which some people add to their foods. I would like for people to be more mindful when they cook that this is also ritual, because you have fire, of course, you have water, or some type of liquid, you have the air, you know, maybe you blowing on the food or whatever, and then you have you know, the earth, which is the actual elements that you're cooking with, whether it's meat or the plants or whatever. So that in itself is a ritual. So be very mindful of who you're buying food from, you know, what kind of ingredients they're using, how are they growing it. And I feel personally that the best thing that we can do at like our stage of evolution as people is to go back to the earth and to actually help to heal the earth. You know, get away from planting GMO seeds, get away from messing with GMO fruits and vegetables, because these things are directly harming the earth. You know, when you go back to planting in the earth, you'll actually improve your karma, you know, because our ancestors made mistakes. And this is why we're in the situation that we're in today. So, the whole point that I'm trying to make is, you know, have respect for every fruit, every leaf, every vegetable, and realize that it sacrificed itself for you to live a higher and better life, and utilize them with respect and in ritual to, you know, move your existence and your experience forward, you know?
Yep.
Appreciate it, brother. Ashe, bro. Ashe.
Anything else you brothers want to put out there or add or what?
Uh,
Yeah,
uh, go
I
ahead,
do
John.
want to I do want to share experience that, you know, I personally have, like, plant vibration, because I think when I first started, you know, my spiritual journey, I got, you know, I got a few plants. I got two in particular that, you know, I kept in my room and whatnot. And you know, I talk to them, I take care of them, this, that, and the third. But you know, at some point, one of them got a little too big, so I had to move them out of my room. The other one is like a hanging plant, so it could still stay there. But you know, my room is where I do, you know, all my rituals. That's why I listen to my jazz music. That's why I meditate. You feel me? And I'm really noticing that, like, one of my plants is doing a whole lot more better than the other one now, just because of that. Um, and I'm even starting to think, like, is the plants really that what got me into like jazz music and whatnot? Like, did it, you know, implant that thought in my brain or something just because it likes it? You feel me? Because I definitely noticed, like, The plant in my room, when I'm bumping my jazz or my classical or whatever, you know, it's definitely receptive to that. You feel me? Um, and I also do want to ask y'all, like, if plants are receptive to that positive energy, do you think that it'll also be receptive to like negative energy? You think that'll, like, say somebody is constantly arguing in this specific room, but a plant is that you think that would hinder its growth?
1,000%.
Oh yeah, yeah, 1,000,000%. You ever, hey, brother GJ, we got a few things we need to send out. You probably, I already know you know this because you surprised me how far you done jumped ahead and taught me, brother. Um, y'all remember that experiment what they did with water and rice? They
Mm-hmm.
had
Yep.
stored it. One they talk good to one, the other they talk crazy to it. Man, so, hate you, yada 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 yada. And the last one they did nothing at all, and they did that daily. And the one they always talk good to, I love you and this and this and that. It was perfect. Like it was brand new when it went in the jar. The second one was all molded and sludgy. The middle one, you can start telling it was diminishing itself. The enzymes and everything was starting to, you know, diminish, fade, but it was nowhere near like the bad one was going on. But no, definitely, yeah, you can do that to food.
Yeah.
You can do that to food. You can do that to water. Like I'm not telling you to do this. You got some water, let you start talking crazy to it or playing stuff around. Go and taste it after that. See if it tastes good. No, you know what I mean? Yeah, you can do that to. I don't want to get too far. Some of y'all ain't trying to. I'm just gonna say egg. I ain't gonna say how. You know what I'm saying? But like egg. You know what I'm saying? So like, yeah, yeah. So yeah, 1,000,000%, brother. It can definitely.
Well, in
You
that regard, you probably got to be careful who you eating from as well, because
Yep.
if somebody like,
Yep.
it don't matter what they cooking, if they in a bad mood or they just got hate in their heart or something like that, you feel me? That
Intention.
could probably,
you
yeah.
know that. Yeah, I didn't mean to cut your wisdom, but I'm using Theo term. But you know what they always said: the best meal is meal cooked with love.
Mm.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah,
It's intention.
intention. That's what you program your stuff with. You program your herbs, your fruits because of the water. And when I saw brother GJ had one program the water. I'm like, yes, I like it. You know what I'm saying, man? You know what I'm saying? So like, yeah, that's what it's about. It's the intention. You know what I mean? It's the intention because it can go particularly different ways. It can. It's like I had mentioned this before. Like you can have a knife. This is a pen, but you can have a knife. A knife. A knife could be good. You can cut vegetables. You can, slice things. You can cut open packaging. You know what I mean? A knife or a scalpel can use to go into surgery. Those are good things. Those are great things.
Yo, oh my God. Yo, I just had a very thoughts be just popping up in my head. And what just came is we started the conversation talking about how certain things such as fentanyl, or for example
Yeah.
what's the other one, heroin, crack, all these things are
Yep.
derived from plants.
Yep.
So that just also goes to show you we rely on plants
Every time.
everything. But depending on how you use it, just like with your word, or just like how you use the example with a sword, you can use a sword to protect or to murder unjustly. You could also use these plants. The poppy plant could be used. I know they used to use the poppy plant to help reduce pain in surgery back in the day.
Yeah.
But now they make a synthetic version of it where they give you heroin after surgery. And I've had surgery and I've taken the little prescription pills before. I've done that, and it helps you feel better. So it could be used for a good purpose, but at the same time it could be used to kill. So that's something to also be super aware of. And I'm glad that you brought that up, because nature is not we have this perception that nature is love and abundance and joy, and it is, but we need to, I feel like a lot of people's definition of love is not really true. Love is sometimes love hurts and sometimes love kills. So it's important to realize, like, you could be thinking it's all rainbows and sunshine and a jaguar will come and bite your head off. That's nature. Like, it's true. So it's not,
you're right.
yeah, it's not to be ignorant, or you could, that's a beautiful mushroom, but that will kill you in a second.
Yeah, you eat the wrong one, you ain't gonna wake up.
Yeah, and it's still all love though, because you'll die, or you really won't die. That's just an illusion. The body will cease to have a driver, and now you become the home and the vessel of a bunch of different microbial beings and ants. Oh damn, we got a new crib. Like, like, you gotta look at it like that. It's still all love. You die from the mushroom, it's all love. The jaguar kills you, he got a nice meal. So it's still all love.
Hey, I want to say this, man. This is a good episode right here, boy. We got another night. We got this one, boy. Put our way in. I ain't Brother Theo missed out on this one. Oh.
Like I said, man, plant vibrations and everything, because a lot of people, and y'all brothers is absolutely right. They don't realize that a lot of your drugs, prescription drugs and everything, they all started from some plant. Real good example. Y'all heard me talk about eucalyptus. I'm like real big on eucalyptus, but I also know that eucalyptus, it's in Bengay also. It got other chemicals that's added into that, but it's in that also. And one simple way that you could tell is just from the smell, because eucalyptus, it has a certain smell that is very distinct from like a lemon or a lavender and whatnot. So hey man, this was a good one. It's almost 6 o'clock, bro.
Oh, yeah, we're gonna get ready to wind it down. But you just to add on top of that, you are correct. Everything was made from carbon. Carbon, because you can ask any pharmacy technicians out there that get ready to take their pharmacy technician quiz or test or state tests and all. You'll end up reading. There's a very small percent of carbon that's in every particular form of medication that would have, because your body wouldn't be able to absorb it if it didn't have anything on carbon that's in there. But now, especially how pharmacology, when it comes to medication, now they have replaced that with synthetic compounds. You look at your original aspirins and things of that nature. You can take willow bark. You can take wild cherry bark. You can still use aspects of feverfew. That was used for for anything that helped with headaches. But like now, everything is synthetic compounds. They're trying to make sure everything's eliminated. They really are. So it's but yeah, this is a great talk. It sure is almost, boy, we've been at this thing. You know what I mean?
You know what? We definitely gonna have to do another. We're gonna call this part one. We're gonna call this part one. Matter of fact, we ain't gonna call this part one. I think this might need to be an ongoing series that we need to put out there, to the people and everything, because it is so much information and so many different directions and topics that we can go in when it comes to plant vibrations. And I really enjoyed this one, man. I really did.
I did too. I ain't gonna lie, brother Jonathan. That threw me off when I saw a sun pop up. I didn't know what was happening.
My photo.
I just like, what? Yeah, but yeah, this will be an ongoing series. It really do. I enjoyed this. I really I really, really did. And y'all can tell the listeners, we just feeding off each other, just our experiences in life. We ain't scripting none of this out. We might brain something and everything else, but we just here for a talk. So comment. Let us know what y'all like to hear next. You know what I mean?
Two things before we wrap this up. The first one, this man, brother Greg, he made this device in 2019, and it's basically what the man did. He took a app from off his phone and he recorded his heartbeat. He then took that heartbeat and he transferred it over to an MP3 player, and then he wound up doing a bunch of prototypes of speakers and everything, and now he got everything like on point where inside the speaker it's like a actual vibrating device that's in it. And what he's been doing mechanical vibrations, and he built himself a grid. He built a aluminum grid, and I'm kind of curious if he could do a copper grid instead of aluminum. But he built the aluminum grid because the man specializes in the cannabis plants. And what he's done, he actually has the plant touching the grid at 24/7. Only thing that the plant is hearing is his heartbeat. That's it. So in the comment that he wound up sending and everything, he said that now everything is going to the university, and they're starting to do studies on how it's starting to have an effect on certain plants with the mechanical vibration, and also different hertz, because he said they want to test to see, okay, you did the heartbeat on this experiment. Now we want to see if we do positive, 432 hertz, and etc. So I'm just waiting on the man whenever he get the information, and I'm gonna, hey man, I told the man I'd love to get him on the show so we can go ahead and interview him, because this technology that this man has, he is trying to get it out here to the people, to everybody. And I think this is going to be a real good game changer. Well, what I'm gonna wind up doing, I'm gonna wind up sending the video to everybody in the group chat, so y'all can go ahead and check it out yourself and everything. And I might even go ahead and put it in the description in this video later on. I don't know, but that's it on that. But I definitely wanted to get that out there. And then the second thing is, Brother D. Moses, do you want to tell the people any events that might be coming your way anytime soon that you want the people to know about, that they can either check out in person or online, or you know what I mean?
Yeah, I can tell you, I got a few that I'm working on right now. I just got to figure out a date. But one y'all can end up doing, tickets on sale now, is Brother Yosef, Cyber Sorceress, October the 11th. Tickets are on sale now, virtual and in person, at the Shrine of the Black Madonna. You can get that at newlifetools.com or New Life Tools Tribal Ministries.org. Link will be I will be speaking as well. And that is something that we would love for y'all to be at as well. But check it out. The link will be in the description. Go ahead and sign up, and we'd love to have you there. But I'm over here forgetting the other stuff. I got to figure out what days in particular, because since we're going into the fall, and then just aligning out, a lot of my stuff is going to be in Texas right now. Tennessee, not really sure, because that weather, it gets cold there. So it's, people don't like getting out in the cold. So Texas. It'll be, I know, San Antonio and also Houston. So stay tuned.
But brother GJ, you got anything that coming up soon that you want people to know anything about?
Yeah, I have a fall fast on my website. And it's basically like a guide. It's a 2 T's to help cleanse the large intestine and the lungs, which are two of the organs that are resonating with the season of fall. So it's, the season of letting go, the season of, releasing what doesn't serve us, getting rid of toxins and actually holding on to things. Those organs, they can be backed up, especially in the summer season, because, the summer deals with abundance. So people eat a lot of the food that's just been freshly harvested, and the large intestine can become a little bit compromised. And then the lungs, of course, are dealing with breathing in all the pathogens and the toxins that exist in today's day and age. So that's what we created. And it's, a guide, it's acupressure points, it's healing sounds, it's a bunch of different things that you could utilize, journaling prompts to help to, improve the health of those two vital organs. Because one of the themes of this whole, chat is that everything is connected. So when you work on these two organs and you focus on these right now, you really are supporting the holistic system, So yeah, that's what I got going on. And then you could visit it at p1health.1. That's the name of the website. And you could check us out at P1 Health on Instagram.
All right. Brother Jonathan, you got anything you want the people to know anything? What's going on with you or whatnot?
Nah, nothing really in particular. I'm still working on music. I got a single coming out very soon. I'm just waiting for the cover art on that. I'm hoping it'll be out by at least this month or next. We're gonna see what happens. Yeah, I'm gonna be dropping a whole bunch of singles, some more content, and just really promoting myself for my upcoming album. All right, so y'all stay tuned for that. You could always find my page, aye.jonell on Instagram. That's where I'm mainly gonna be at. But yeah, that's really all I got going right now.
Okay. To all of our brothers and sisters out there, if you want to be a guest on the show or whatnot, just simply on Instagram, on it's official on Twitter now, on Twitter, Instagram, some other stuff. But you can just simply just send me an email, mmgpodcast11 at gmail.com. That's mmg podcast11 at gmail.com. And we go ahead and get you on here because these brothers don't know, but a lot of people been coming at me the past couple of weeks about being guests, on the show and whatnot. So I kind of been in communication with them and trying to figure out, how try to work everything out and whatnot. But hey man, this was, I know this. And now every show, real talk, it might sound like bullshit, but every show is really my favorite that we do because like Brother Demo just said, ain't none of this scripted, and everybody is just vibing off of one another, and I just truly love this right here, and man, uh y'all don't know, but I'm gonna go ahead and tell y'all this is the fourth official episode of the show. So we have been up and running for a little bit over a month now. So I salute y'all brothers and everything. Um, Man, this was good. I know I don't know if we're gonna do it next week or the week after. I'm gonna get with y'all brothers about that, but I do know the next episode is gonna be lyrics that touch your soul. We're gonna go ahead and get back into that series and everything. But man, uh, it's all good on this end. Ain't nothing but peace, love, and joy. Anything y'all brothers want to say before we get up out of here?
Nothing much. Just continue to tune in. We should have not called it a podcast. We should have called it a vibecast. You know what I mean? Because I like that term, man. Music and Metaphysical vibecast. But just tune in. We'll be grateful for anybody that tunes in. Has any questions? It was good to see all of y'all. It really was. It really, really, really was. I know one thing. I'm finna get the cooking in now, boy. So that's
Yes, sir.
you know what I mean?
All right, family. Y'all have a good one and tune in with us again. And as always, peace, love, and joy.
Peace, love, and joy. Holla.
Peace. Peace.
Peace, man.